introduction. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Can you remove me from spotlight for a moment so that I can see actually everyone? And I request all of you to please switch on your cameras if you're comfortable. Let's just greet each other and also know the energy. How's the energy right now on the scale of 0 to 10? Okay, I see. Oh, great. So these people are sitting together, is it? Okay. Hi, Utkarsh. Thank you. Okay. Aaron's camera is on. Okay. Thanks, Aaron. Hi, Sneha. Hi, Priyaranjan. Okay. Oh my God. Ishan says he's a 10. Oh, great, Ishan. Lovely. In the middle of the week, huh? Great. Thanks, Advait. Uh, all right. The rest of you, can we please have a few more cameras on? This is going to be a this is going to be an activity-based session as well. Thanks, Amit. Thanks, Apurv. Great, great. Lovely. So I'm also looking at some people have joined from home and some of them are in the office. Lovely. So, okay, so let's start from the first question itself. What do you think are we going to do today? What made you come to this session today? What's the catch? Please feel free to share and talk. And I've also not heard on energy level from the rest of you. Seems like Ishan has filled it for everyone. Is everybody at 10? Please share however our energy is right now from 0 to 10. I'm a solid 9 right now. 8. Okay, thanks, Amit. 5.6. All right. Hardly anybody has given me energy in decimals, but great. 5. Okay. 6. Great. 7. Oh, now nice to know everybody's 50% or above. Okay, even if you're below 50, that's okay. One of those days. 7.25. Okay, all right. Nice. I love the energy in the crowd. Great. Lovely. So I will just take a moment and also switch on my screen sharing. And the session that the entire talk about today is mostly revolving around workplace well-being, but why is workplace a workplace? Who makes it a workplace? Is you and me, right? All of us. So we'll be focusing about how mental health is impacting us or entire work area, however it is. So my first question to you all is workplace well-being a real concern? Yes, no, maybe. You can drop in with emojis, unmute and talk. Is workplace well-being a real concern? Oh, Manoj has shared a very nice response. Starting at 2 and going with a 9 now. Great. Okay. Is workplace well-being a real concern? Guys, quickly. Yes, no, I don't know, neutral. However you think. Please feel free to type in. Yeah, okay. Okay, what is workplace well-being to you? All right, that's a good question. Okay, we don't know it yet. ठीक है? What do you know about workplace well-being? What do you know about workplace well-being? छोड़ते हैं अभी.
Yeah, Kashish, that's an interesting question. As you can see, some people are at home, some people are at work.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
what
some
is
people
even
are
work?
at home and some people are
Some
at
people are
work. Is
sitting
there
on
a
their,
difference?
Amit is on his bed. Some people are on their couch,
Hmm.
right? So someone is in a cafe. How do you
Are
define
we
workplace anymore?
are we also intending, Priya, that people at home are not entirely in workplace?
No, I'm saying you can't. Maybe you're neglecting them by asking for workplace well-being if they're
Ah,
not in the
okay.
workplace.
All right. But I'm also coming from the understanding workplaces, people, you know, getting to know each other through work. I also come from a remote working organization, and but we
Yeah.
have a workplace. Even though I'm right again, I'm sitting in my home right now and taking this session. All right. So if we don't know what's workplace well-being, let me walk you through the first intention that we have. Let's have a cover picture for workplace well-being. If you had to put some picture to workplace well-being as per your understanding, what is it from A, B, C, D options here? Please pick one. What does workplace well-being look like if it has to be, or just rather well-being look like if it has to be in a picture format? What is well-being? A, B, C, D. Which picture would you pick? B. Mm-hmm. B. Okay. Oh, D. D. Okay. B and D. D is winning. All right. And why would you pick D and B? What makes you pick D and B? Happy, happy. Yes, they're all smiling and laughing. So there's some definition to well-being in our heads, which is we are all flourishing and thriving and happy and energetic. Maybe that's the simple definition we know. That's the simple meaning we know that we have attached to well-being. All right. Now, let me also ask you, is mental health visible? I have a rather activity prepared for you all, but I was also, informed that we'll be having mostly a setup. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start the activity right here on my screen, wherein Ria, are you there?
Yes.
Okay. Are you able to present widescreen?
Okay, let me try.
So what are we going to
Collaborating.
do?
Do we want collaborators? We do, right?
You can draw simply, or maybe just me. So what are we going to do is we are going to put a white screen here, and Ria is going to just draw a simple human structure, and we are going to color the parts of the body wherever stress shows up for her. So we are going to color the parts of the body wherever stress shows up to us. So you can simply tell us all the areas wherever stress shows up for you. Okay. All right.
Give me a minute. I
We have
wasn't.
so many people on it already.
Folks, please don't ruin my drawing. Please bear with me while I'm drawing. See?
Okay, Ankur is making eyes. I'm understanding your stress has something to do with eyes, Ankur. Is
Wow.
it?
Oh, people want to make it Kashish. I leave the whiteboard.
Okay, that's fun. Nice. Great. Okay. Okay. Ria, can you stop collaboration?
Yeah.
Just reminds me of what we do in kindergarten.
I have opened a
Well,
new whiteboard. No
yeah,
collaborations.
no collaborations, please. Ria, just draw a simple human, and everybody, please unmute yourselves and talk about wherever stress shows up in your body. And Ria and I are going to just color that part over here.
I just need like a
Yeah,
second to complete it.
that's okay. Can we have responses in the chat box? Where does stress show up in your body, guys? Whenever you're stressed, what comes up to your body? How is it shown in body?
Yeah.
May we have some answers? Do we have any answers? Have we ever felt stressed? Okay, for
Headache.
headache, yes. Jia, can you please color the head? In the air, not body. Palpitations, so probably we can color the chest a little, stomach, back. So that's again the structure. Sweaty hands.
I can't find another color, so I'm just going to sort of go with it.
All right. Biting nails. Oh, that's very. Oh, yeah, that's true.
What?
Increasing body temperature, eating food, extra junk food. Okay. Headache, eyes burning. Yes. Dark circles, tiredness. True. True. There's a lot to do with our, that's visible on our face when we are stressed, lack of sleep, and all that. So now tell me, is mental health visible? Can you see mental health now? Okay, so the things that we said are probably in my head and your head, but they can, yes, we can see symptoms sometimes, and most probably these symptoms that we also see sometimes, it's headache, stomach ache, burning of eyes. We also don't very, very naturally relate it to something that has been stressing us out that day or otherwise, or maybe a disagreement with somebody at work or at home. But we also understand there is something different in my body today, right? Our mental health, in terms of overwhelming feelings, in terms of distress, in terms of pressure, all of this does show up. Yeah, we can stop presenting. I'll go back to my PPT. So, what we were trying to do here is we were trying to associate the physical signs and symptoms with mental health, because most of the times we do not consider mental health, or as I say, just simple changes in our body with mental health stressors, is because we can't just see them. We can't see somebody has, if there is a bruise, we can see a bruise, right? We can't see that visibly here. And so my question to you was, is mental health visible? Because mental health is physical in nature as much as we say it's, just in our head, in your head. And what entirely, well-being is something that you picked that picture for. You guys picked a picture which was C and D, B and D. And why would you put B and D? Because these are the aspirational levels all of us want to reach and achieve. We want to be happy and thriving and energetic and probably a 10 every day. But is well-being mental health? Is mental health equivalent to well-being? Because the pictures you picked up, B and D, that's well-being, and that's correct. That's the aspirational state each one of us wants to achieve, wants to reach. But then what is mental health? Now please pick a picture from here. What is mental health? Image 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is it? We have a response. Okay. Please, can we have responses? All? Okay. Yes. Fourth. Okay. 3. Okay. 3. None. All right. Okay, so I think 3 and 4, and then there is one that says all, and then there is one that says none. It's actually everything. All these images are mental health. We can be happy, stressed, angry, vulnerable, and sometimes exhausted or tired to a certain extent. And all of these comprise of our mental health. Why? Because mental health is different from a mental illness and well-being. In terms of mental health is an entire spectrum. It's dynamic in nature. It travels from one end to the other. It is not limited to me just being stressed, or it's not limited to me just being absolutely tired and exhausted, or me being happy and thriving and flourishing. But we have these four quadrants in which mental health is divided based on the difference between mental health and mental illnesses. So I hope you all by now understand what mental health is, right? It's everyday basis. I can feel happy and encouraged and enthusiastic right now. At the same moment, maybe tomorrow I had some. But what is a mental illness? It is a clinically diagnosed illness wherein it's a clinically diagnosed illness by a professional, and it is not like it is there today and it is not there tomorrow. So we have mental health divided on four different quadrants, and first quadrant is where our mental health, our daily mental health of emotions, feelings, actions and behavior is high. It's good. It's something that I can manage. I'm working really fine, and it's not affecting my productivity or my functioning, daily functioning. Whereas mental illness, that is, if I'm having any anxiety issues or panic attacks that I have been diagnosed with, if they are not present or they are at a very low bare minimal that are not disrupting in my daily functioning. And that's the first quadrant where all of us are flourishing and we have complete mental health. And that's the image you picked, B and D, probably, if the image talks about it. We are all happy and energetic. And then we have a quadrant wherein we have low mental health. That is, I'm not very, every day I'm not feeling very good about myself. I'm probably feeling sad. I'm probably not able to work as good as it. But at the same time, I don't have a clinical disorder. I do not have an illness. I have not been diagnosed. I don't have, repeating maybe an anxiety attack or a panic attack or hopelessness for that matter. I am able to manage. So here I am languishing, I'm somehow going about it, but I'm also not in my complete state of well being. I'm just like ticking the box, or maybe, just in some orange area. And then I have the third quadrant wherein we have low mental health, but we have a mental illness. That is when we are also floundering. That is, I have an illness, but I'm working on it. I'm trying to mend it. I am going to the doctor. I'm taking my prescribed medications. My intervention is working. So I have a mental illness, but my daily well-being is also, good. It's going to on everyday basis. I'm able to manage it. I'm working on it. I'm doing my homeworks on time, and I'm taking care of myself. So this is also an area wherein I have mental illness completely, but I am also able to manage it. I'm working on it. Right? This is the area where we are struggling. When my well being is high, but I also have an illness which I'm working on it. So I'm kind of trying to balance it. This is the area where I'm struggling. I have incomplete mental illness. And where I have a mental illness, but I'm not able to work on it, is floundering, where I have complete mental illness. Right? So one area is mental illness, wherein if we have it and we are taking care of it, I am still able to manage. But then we have mental health, which we have every day. And if we are working towards it, we will be able to work on ourselves and evolve and grow and even take care of our daily mental health with it. Now, you guys tell me, which of these four quadrants do you lie on if this is your mental health? If these are the five stages, four divided into four quadrants, which one color resonates with you? Are you excelling? Are you surviving? Are you thriving? Are you struggling? Or are you in crisis? So the color You can share the color you are in right now. Where is your mental health? Yellow. Thanks for sharing. You can absolutely choose not to share as well, but please think for yourself. Where are you right now? Yellow, green, orange, dark green, red. Red is an area wherein we are saying that, I am in crisis. I'm probably having self harm. I'm probably having suicidal ideations. I'm having recurring panic attacks, anxiety attacks. So, where do you think you lie in the box right now? Some of them have shared yellow. So, some of them that have shared yellow, can you also share and think of a time when you were in a different quadrant? Maybe you are in yellow right now, and sometime else you were in green or light green or orange. Can you think of a time when you were in a different colored box? So this is right now you guys are in orange? Yeah. Okay. Sneha shares. Thank you, Sneha. She's orange for today, but maybe yellow on most days. And this is how our mental health changes every day. And so we genuinely generally share that, mental health is dynamic in nature. Today I can feel so and so and, not be up for it, and tomorrow I can get my energy, recharge it, get back, and, I can come to action. This is what mental health is. It is dynamic in nature, it is continuously changing, and it can change from one area to another area depending on the situation, time, and everything. Thanks, Parth, for that detailed, your color selections. Thank you. Now tell me, what do you think these numbers are? 1 in 4 and 4 out of 5. What do you think these numbers are? 1 in 4, something in respect to mental health, definitely. But what do you think is the difference? 4 out of 5 and 1 in 4. Thriving and struggling. Thank you. That's a good way. First one is thriving. 1 in 4 undiagnosed with illness. Impressive. That's good thought. Anybody else who would like to share? So 1 in 4 people experience mental health illnesses. 1 amongst 4 people experiences mental health illnesses, and 4 out of 5 people never seek help. And that's the entire talk about, when we say what is mental health, why do we need a professional, why do we have to talk about it? There is so much stigma and taboo attached to it that it often becomes very difficult for anybody to come and seek help in such matters, in such an area where it's difficult for you to cope with yourself on daily basis. So maybe we are in orange and yellow most often in our life, but still it becomes difficult for us to go and seek help, to ask somebody to, I cannot do this right now, I probably need a break, or things like that. And why am I telling you all of this is because I want you all to know that workplace well-being, what we are generally talking, this entire structure of me thriving, achieving, growing, excelling in life is a concern, is because it starts from how and what we deal with on daily basis. And this is a workplace well-being report that Mana Wellness did in the year 2023. 2023 we wrote it. In 2022 this research was finished, and we did 15K plus well-being surveys for different organizations employee, and we found out these results. we found out there are 29% people in moderate to severe risk of depression working in the workplace. We have 55% people from moderate to severe risks of anxiety cases. And the stress levels are high for 78% people. And the moderate to high well-being overall, like the overall is near about is as massive as 99%. So what are we trying to also I'm also trying to share that with you is workplace well-being is one of the most important topics today in our culture, because somehow somewhere we are giving 12 hours a day to our work life, to our colleagues, our people at office, our managers, our own work, and then we have a life outside it. And these are the stats that talk about overall data. And why is this such a big concern is because the taboo attached with it. So I want to know from you all, when your mental health is good, what happens to you? So can you just complete the sentence? When my mental health is good, I do dash, I like dash, I perform dash, or whatever it is. So when your mental health is good, what differently do you behave? Or what differently do you look like or work like? So quickly, may I have a few sentences? You can also imagine if your mental health is excelling, what are you doing? What are you behaving like? I'm more positive. Thanks, Priya. Ashad says, I'm more fun to be around. Thank you. Can we have health is good? You dash. Please complete that sentence. You can also unmute yourself and talk. That works. You're more supportive, so support fellow humans. Great. So you can always find out for yourself when your mental health is good. How do you behave like? What do you look like? What are you doing? All of these things we can, share and, of course, know for ourselves. Now, while I was talking about why do people not talk about it, there's a very nice video. I don't know if some of you must have already seen it, but why do we always stop at I want to tell this, but I don't know, but I can't. And what is stopping us entirely is there's a short video wherein we are talking about if mental health would have been is treated like any other illness, what would the statements, conversations look like? Please let me know if you can hear the sound of the video.
I think you are overthinking.
You're over-analyzing.
Overhyping,
Audible.
over hyperventilating. Just ovaries?
तू है ना ज्यादा सोच मत. जैसे ऐसा आंख बंद कर और सोच कि तू नहीं सोच रहा है.
Maybe you don't have typhoid. Maybe you just need a long vacation.
या फिर हम लोग के साथ मूवी के लिए आ जा. अच्छा तो तू नहीं आ रहा है. ओके, बाय. Dude, guess what? निखिल को ना टाइफाइड हो गया.
क्या?
हाँ यार.
क्या बात कर रहा है?
इसको बोल मत. मैंने तेरे को बताया.
नहीं, मैं क्यों बोलेगा?
गाइस, ये क्या चल रहा है? इट्स टाइफॉइड. इट्स लाइक एनी अदर इलनेस. अगर हम लोग ऐसे खुसपुस करके आपस में बात करेंगे ना, तो फॉरगेट गोइंग टू द डॉक्टर. निखिल विल थिंक ट्वाइस बिफोर ही टॉक्स टू अस अबाउट इट. लेट्स बी नॉर्मल, ओके?
लगता है इसको भी टाइफाइड हो गया.
I hope this short clip relates to how we talk about stress, anxiety, depression on day-to-day basis, that it's just in our head, in your head. But if we talk in the similar manner about our physical health illnesses, the narrative would have been different entirely, and people would think, what crazy souls are we? And with this video, it is also important to understand that in a culture like workplace, in a culture like, all around your employees, we lack the sensitivity around this topic, maybe because we are not very we are not very acquainted to each other, right? But we also forget there are so many things that make up our mental health through this large bunch of time which we spend here in our with our colleagues, with our work peers. And so it's important for us to understand mental health with all of them, and in respect to also talk about it with sensitivity, with also some nurturance to each other. Now, what all are some components that contribute to our mental health on daily basis is definitely what you picked up: your friends, your family, your near and dear ones, everybody around you that's, at your home or in your workplace environment. Then there is definitely the amount of social media and apps and friends and online, whatever we are reading, be it news, be it your reels, be it meme content, anything and everything that we are reading on social media has an impact on us. You watch a nice meme and you're just happy suddenly, right? So that's the kind of impact it has. There is impact of, if there is anything that you're grieving about, probably a person you've lost, probably a job that has long gone by, or a place that you had to leave because of certain changes. All of this impacts our mental health. Then we have our day-to-day interactions with our friends or our family, our parents, our probably other cousins and all, or just as simple as our own managers at work, our own our own colleagues, our teammates. The kind of conversation we have leaves a mark on us, in terms of also thinking that we are also decoding the language, like we saw the video back. What else contributes to our mental health is the deadlines in the meeting, the deliveries, culture, the difference of culture, the diversity our nation has, or with different nations. There is a lot of bad news revolving around. There is discrimination, racism. All these things also affect our mental health. And lastly, it's our physical health illnesses. That is, if we have, how COVID came with a wave, and we did see the research does suggest there has been a 20% rise in anxiety cases post COVID. And all of this impacts how we are feeling, how we are thinking, and then how are we behaving. Because our day-to-day activities, even if we are hearing it once a day, or maybe every day we are thinking about somebody that's going through a lifelong illness, it does leave a mark on us, and it impacts our behavior the next day or the next moment. What else contributes to our mental health is definitely the amount of nutrition that we consume. What kind of food are you eating? What kind of substances are you intaking? What kind of substances, not in just in terms of what we are physically taking, the general, like I was talking about, the content that you take in, the people that you're surrounded with. Then we also, it's impacted by our own upbringing. However we have been raised, whatever challenges I have had in my childhood, or probably if I had a difficult patch, if I had some illness, some physical health illness rather, when I was a child, maybe all of that has left a mark on me today, and that also impacts my mental health. One very important thing that we'll know about health is it is generative in nature. It's coming through genes. So definitely, if there is a gene in the in family of any buddy having a mental health illness or a concern, you are more prone to it. But it's not like if there is no gene, you might not ever get a mental health illness. That's also not the case. It just increases the chances if there is a genetic history for any kind of mental health illness. And lastly, our day-to-day stressors. Our day-to-day stressors can be anything regarding your finances, regarding your family, regarding your, some things that you want to buy, some work that you want to complete. All of this on our daily basis impacts and contributes to our mental health. So at the end of the day, these are all the people that make our mental health. You know, our co-workers, our family, media, rivals, friends, doctors, government, society, relatives. But whom else do you think also contributes to our mental health? There's one person missing. Who else? Who else also contributes to our mental health? Yes, me. That's you. We ourselves contribute to our mental health on everyday basis, much, much more than all these people, all these factors around us. And how are we responsible of taking care of our mental health is what we will also be discussing together. But there is one major aspect in terms of mental health is it is our own faith and belief in our own selves on how are we managing with these things. Some things are in our control and some things are out of our control, but all of it is linked through me, right? All of these people that we are meeting, all of this work that we are doing is all linked through me. So something that you can see in people that have mental health concerns, or you can see a drop in their well-being, are these kind of people that can show fluctuations in their mood and energy. Things that changes, things that change suddenly for them. Maybe this person was so enthusiastic and, always talking and sharing and always a part of a team meeting. But suddenly you observe that they are just aloof. They're not talking and sharing much. So a rapid change in their mood and emotions, rapid change in their energy is one of the signs through which we can predict or, observe that there could be a concern. And that's something that we all do. You're not talking that much these days. Is everything all right? We do observe these signs. Then there is some lack of motivation in work. There is no interest to work. Probably there's a project I was so excited about and happy about. Maybe by the end of it, I'm just not feeling good, or my quality of delivering work has reduced, or there are major shifts in my body. Like my body is showing certain signs of physical illnesses that it's becoming difficult for me to cope with it, and because of which I am, my connection with work is also hampering. Lastly, you see a drop in their self confidence because they themselves, we our own selves, don't know what's happening with us. It becomes difficult for us to believe that there's a change in my body, or there is a change in how I'm thinking and feeling. Often we ask ourselves that itni si baat se farak nahi pad sakta, what's the big deal, you're making a fuss about it. But all of this impacts our faith in our own self, and which eventually decreases our self confidence and makes us doubt ourselves. So these are the concerns that, these are the signs or the concerns you can experience as and when, if you are mentally not feeling very upright, you're not feeling very tight. And lastly, when there is so much shame and isolation with people experiencing this, that hardly anybody will come up to you and ask, okay, what's happening, right? Maybe because it's also because there is some kind of lack of connection built there. But we also think twice before approaching people with such concerns, because we are in our own hustle, and we are in our own area wherein we are struggling with our own challenges. And because of the stigma that we talk about in mental health, is makes us difficult to share our challenges with each other. It makes us difficult because of the confidentiality issues, maybe somewhere, somehow. So these are some major, these are some experiences that a person can feel with mental health concerns. Now, what can we do about it? What can you and I as individuals do about it is, we have two large areas, wherein we can divide our own efforts into. One is this large pool of circle that is full of our concerns. And this is something that I would also invite you to do if not right now, maybe later on. Where there is a large pool of concerns that we have on our daily basis, but there are only maybe 10% out of those that actually can be influenced by me. So if we think of 10 large problems that I have right now, please look at the problems that you can change with your own efforts and with your own influence. Something that you have a command on. And actually those are the problems, those are the worries. If they get better, if we are able to solve them, our mental health feels a little better. We eventually feel a little energetic, and our self confidence also increases because we have solved some bit of it. So, in simple language, we are also focusing on the problems which are solvable, which are avoidable, or rather, which can be influenced by my own effort and by my own command on them. And like we were talking about, because mental health is not always visible, we also have to focus on some more observable signs, which are we are probably acting a little impulsive on some days, some kind of irritations there. We are also having some irregularities with eating, sleeping. So maybe you see a colleague who is generally, coming and having lunch with everyone, but just maybe the past 10 days or a week, they're not eating together, they're not eating very well. There is a social withdrawal, like I was talking, especially in work, remote work setup, it becomes difficult to identify these signs. But how can we look at them as somebody who is just not, talking as much as they used to, from their, as compared to their pre-self, they are not as much involved as they used to, and you can sense that difference. If there is somebody you're working with, very often, that they are behaving something differently, which they, as compared to their own selves earlier, right? And that's the difference we are able to identify with if we want to observe certain kind of mental health concerns. And large, one of the most important signs which our deteriorating mental health gives us is a drop in our performance and our productivity. Let's say you could do one task maybe by the end of the day, it takes you only 6 hours to complete that task, but now it's been 3 days, and it's your performance is not up to the mark, or probably even if you have delivered in double the time, the quality is not that great. So eventually there is a drop in performance, which also helps us signify that there is some concern that is, probably bothering the person. These are a few signs that I would want you to, look at when we talk about physical, mental, and emotional signs of deteriorating mental health. Large amount of tiredness, fatigue, lack of appetite, changes in sleep pattern, palpitations or breathlessness, often getting sick, taking a lot of sick leaves, getting a lot of, whenever we are highly distressed, whenever we are highly overwhelmed, our immunity levels drop, they drop by a large amount, and so it's very easy for me to catch infection, to catch virus, and hence my health also deteriorates. So if anybody is taking sick leaves very often, if anybody is falling sick very often genuinely, and somebody sometimes just cries all of a sudden, we know these are some physical signs, these are some things that we've never seen earlier with this person, and probably this person needs your attention and care. There are mental signs, lack of motivation, social withdrawal, some amount of inability in concentrating, maybe always distracted, irritated in responses, they have low patience levels. And lastly, in emotional signs, there is anger, there is some amount of apathy, some amount of coldness, numbness that these people are showcasing, because they are so much cluttered in their own thoughts that it's difficult for them to hear the person, standing in front of them, or relate to that person, or empathize with that person. So they gradually isolate themselves. Now, mental health touches all of us, right? So far we have understood we are all a part of it. It's not like any one of us can say that I don't have mental health, or, we can say we don't have mental health concerns probably today. We can say, I don't have a mental health illness. But mental health is something that all of us has, and it touches all of us. And the best part is that all of us can help. It's not just me who has to help my own self. In collaboration with this force that we are, we can help each other, we can help our own selves, and we can also seek help. It's okay. It's okay to ask for help and seek help. And how are we going to do it? We are going to do that by creating emotionally safe spaces. And when I say emotionally safe spaces, by that we mean that we value each other for whoever they are as a human. We value each other's contribution, not just their contribution, but their entire being. And with emotional safety, we also build a culture wherein we are cultivating psychological safety, wherein people can share about their challenges and concerns, and there is no judgment based on it. There is no judgment in if when you share, I had an anxiety. I felt anxious while before doing the presentation, so I didn't do very well. And then we have support there provided. And how can we do that? Is by three simple words in one statement. That's I see you. How many of us have heard the word ICU in ICU segment, wherein it just alerts us, right? Because it's an emergency. But right now we're talking about ICU in segments of I value you, I hear you, I look at you, I'm watching you. And that's also giving the intention and the meaning that I've got your back. And how can we do that? Is by these conversations that we make at workplace, simple conversations, that how we talk about, there is an example given here on the slide. Suppose somebody is talking, sir, I was wondering why I was suddenly shifted from the project I had been working on for 2 years. And probably the manager has shifted you for whatever reasons, but the response like this, I understand that the decision might have been sudden for you. Do you think you can provide your expertise in another project? Instead of shutting them down or invalidating their problem, their sudden shock, the other person, the manager has probably addressed it by asking, okay, where else can I utilize your strengths? Conversations like these can change the dynamics of relationship at the workplace. So what are we doing here is we are identifying the distress very closely by looking at the signs, by looking at verbal and non-verbal signs and symptoms, by understanding if there are any changes and shifts in mood, by any performance drop or raise, or if there is some kind of temporary disability, some kind of problem going, which is very temporary in nature, by identifying. Secondly, how are we communicating to them after identifying it? Are we making fun of it? Are we also making excuse based on that? How are we talking about it? Are we judging them? Are we shutting them down? Are we invalidating the entire problem? So it's very important for us to ask gently once we have observed those signs. So statements like, whenever you're comfortable to talk, you can, I'm ready to talk. If you're up for a coffee, I'm open to accompanying you. Or, especially in the remote area setup, you always also, tend to make some meaningful connections which are beyond the work, like some catch-ups which are helping you talk apart from your projects and your work deliverables. We ask and we specify the help that we can provide. How many times have people told us, call me anytime and I'll be able to help? And how many of us have actually called them? Hardly anyone. But when you specify, if it's difficult for you to cook food, I can bring food for you. Or if it's difficult for you to work today on this project, just call me and I'll take it up from wherever you have left. What are we providing here? We're providing specific help so that whenever they come to that point, they know it's you. They can always come up to you. We are cultivating that safety together. We are recognizing their emotions, and we are also giving them the space to choose and share their emotions. It's not like I've asked and they have to share. There's a mandate. But we are giving them the space to take their own time and share, because you as a person are willing to hear. Something that we do very often is we give advices. We give suggestions. You tell me I'm stressed, I'll give you 10 nuskas how to be distressed. And when we are, and the when very important thing, when we are communicating and understanding, that's the you, we have to control our own advices and suggestions. We have to control those positive notions. We have to encourage them by supporting them and not giving them solutions or ways how they can, get out of this problem. Probably if they ask, sure, please do that, but not when we are hearing their problem just so that we want to solve it, because that's a natural instinct of us all. So we help them recognize their strengths, we help them recognize their support systems, we help encourage them identify the support if they require, which is probably beyond just emotional. Probably they need some financial support, some medical support, some, legal support. Whichever kind of support they want, we are there to provide them with them, maybe some resources, some help. And all of this creates a culture of oneness and togetherness when we are in sync with each other through day-to-day conversations, and also talking about how you're feeling right now and the comfort to share. I'm not feeling very okay today. I had a fight at home, or probably I just woke up tense today because I didn't have good sleep last night. That kind of sharing if we can do. So now I want you all to, share with me. I think mental health is dash after understanding whatever mental health is today, and how can you take care of your own well-being. So probably if you can answer the second question, that would be much, much better, of how can you take care of your own well-being. What can you do as an individual to take care of your own well-being? Anything on your mind? Chat is open if anybody wants to write. Something I want you all to know is these all 5 segments are areas wherein we can do something in respect to our well-being, and something that gives attention to myself, be it emotional, wherein you are just going for a wherein you just decide that you are off social media because it's getting a little overwhelming. It's social, you make sure you catch up with that friend that gives you energy, that is a healthy asset to you. You try to meet them often. Spiritual, if you are into spirituality or meditation, you make sure you take out time for that a little. Professional health, something that you do to take care of your finances, if that's what's making you stressed, maybe some kind of savings, or some kind of assets that you want to take care of. Lastly, it can be in physical health segment, wherein you go for a walk, you do some exercise, you release some sweat, you release some good endorphins, because physical health, taking out stress in forms of physical health, is delayed gratification. You might not feel good at that moment. We push ourselves to go to that walk every day, or maybe that gym workout, but you eventually, after a day or maybe 3 days of doing it, you will feel gratified, because naturally my body is giving good endorphins, naturally my body is releasing dopamine and oxytocin chemicals. These are the 5 domain areas wherein we can add some or the other activity to improve our well-being and take care of our own mental health. As we come towards the end of it, these are all different segments that can help you contribute to your mental health. These are some activities that each one of us can do to improve my well-being, be it physical nature works, be it some meditation that also includes very simple breath work, with some kind of reading that's gaining knowledge on all different segments, or just relaxing, sleeping for the optimal amount of time, listening to music, enjoying any kind of natural sound. All of these contribute to our mental health. Towards the end, I would announce for you all that you have the opportunity, rather we have the opportunity to share with you counseling sessions at a discounted price, especially for ShopFlow, with your coupon code being SHFL23. My colleague Ria has also dropped a link in the chat box wherein you can book your one-on-one counseling session with 40 plus therapists talking in 10 plus different languages to book your one-on-one counseling session. I must assure you that these are all private, confidential sessions. Nothing in these sessions that is talked about ever goes out out from your therapist and you. So nothing of your company will ever come to know, neither your managers nor your HR, that you are availing therapy or you are availing counseling from so and so person. Nothing of that comes out. So please stay assured, and I hope you guys are open. If you guys need it, you are open to using this coupon at a 20% discounted price.